I am seeing your guys' comments. All right. Bro, that castle on the right backs my Star Wars. Oh, yep. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So today, and I'm kind of wearing today's my last day of my vacation, so I am wearing my tank top. There we go. And so I want to show you what I'm trying out here. So I'm trying out is this cool new bot called OBSBOT. And basically it tracks wherever I move. So as I move around, it tracks where I go. And so I wanted to see how that worked to make a video. And I bought one before and a different brand, just didn't work very good. So this is what I'm trying out right here. It's got its own built-in camera right there. And this camera tracks, and if I put my hand up like this, then it freezes to not track me. And when I put it up again, then it says, hey, I recognize that hand. Oh, it's got to see my face too. And then it will start tracking me again. Track. Sure. Now it's not going to work because I'm trying to show you how cool this is. There we go. Let's see, is it tracking? Yep, cool. All right, so since we're here, let's go ahead and talk about some of the castles of the past. So I'm not just wasting this video for no particular reason. Let's see your guys' comment. Someone put makes. Not sure what that is. But let's see. So, the Castle Grayskull. When it first came out, this was the cool box art we got, and we could see in the doorway is Skitty too. And so when this castle was first made, the idea was not everybody would, anybody could own the castle. Whoever took control of it would have it, and they'd turn the flag accordingly. They had the hero flag and the enemy flag, and basically whichever side you had the swords on. And here's the swords right here. It's kind of hard to see in this little picture here. And you just crank it around one way or the other. And that's who had control of the castle at the time. And so, you notice it says, Fortress of Mystery and Power for He-Man and his foes. So it's actually for both, all the masters of the universe, not just the heroic ones. So, technically, this castle was kind of a play set for all the figures. Not just for He-Man and his friends. So let's go and talk about this one first. This is the one from the 80s, from a long time ago. And yes, this one was pretty cool, where every single one is slightly different depending on the paint apps on the face. And when I was a kid, this was like the coolest thing ever. It's like, oh, this is so cool. And you put the sword in the door, and the door would open up, and it had a working elevator and all the other parts. And also was a carrying case for the figures. But what made it unique, like I said, was one, it was a giant castle skull face, which before this I played with Micronauts, so all my stuff was pretty small size. And what's crazy is every single one has a different paint app on the face. They just hit it with spray paint. And so you may get one with a light dose or a heavy dose or whatever. So it's kind of cool that each one is independent individual. So then we got, of course, we got the 2000X Castle. I'm not going to show you because I don't have one right here now. And we got the Classics Castle, which was awesome. But just recently, we got our Origins Castle. And here's the Origins one. And you can see, size-wise, they're pretty comparable. They're just about the same size, which makes sense because the figures are the same size. So you can kind of see how they have a lot of similarities between the two castles. And so it makes Origins kind of fun because, my grandkids can play at these now, and I can watch them and remember the good old days. But what's different is they don't have the random paint app on the face anymore. Now each one's the same with a nice little black in the eyes and the nose and some green here and here and then the sparkle spots all over it. So, it is pretty much the same app. Now they do have brown on here, which is really cool. I wish the original would have had that, but they didn't. Now, the coup de rah of my castles, as you guys know, who watch a lot of my videos, is this one right here. This is my favorite castle. It's actually a custom castle, and it is mammoth, and it is cool. Look at the size difference. That's just crazy, the size difference. I'll come over here. See, this camera follows me. Hey, it did. The size difference between these two castles. You can just see how much more bigger this one is compared to the one in the 80s. Now, this is just a hollow shell, just the front piece. It doesn't have a back or the side or anything else. And in the link of the description, I actually have the link to go to the Facebook page of the guy who made this. And the guy used to work for he works in the movie industry. He's a makeup artist for doing, I don't know his whole story, but he's working on, I think, the movie Water Horse when he made this castle out of clay and then took it home and then made a mold out of it. And some of us were lucky enough to actually get the mold for it. And like this door is just mammothly huge. I mean, look at that. It is so cool. And now I personally added a small little plastic tab. It's removable, so the door could stand easier. I just took a 90-degree piece I got from the hardware store and just kind of sanded it out to fit that, and then it just slides into the little gap right there. So for those that have the castle, it's a pretty cool, quick fix to have the door stand so it won't fall over so easy. And of course, you put a hole in the front where the lock should be for the sword, so that's a really cool thing. This thing is just massively heavy. It's crazy. So there we go. There is the castle. Now, at one time, I did build a whole interior for this out of the foam you use like in your garage and cut it all out and made different floors and stuff. But then we ended up moving. It was just too much of a hassle to keep it, and it's just a huge mess everywhere. It's like, okay, I'm just getting rid of it because it was just everywhere. So let's go ahead and take a look at Castle Grayskull in the comics. I'm going to aim this camera up so I don't have to keep ducking all the time. There we go. So the Castle Grayskull in the comics, see if I can find it. Happen to have my trusty iPad right here, and where is, there we are, iBooks. So what I've done a long time ago is I actually scanned in all the comics, and here they are in one giant globular cluster. And what's cool is as you go through and look at like the He-Man and the Power Sword, for instance, this particular comic kind of covers it's one of the top main four, the first four that came out, and it kind of shows, you know, how He-Man left his tribe and how he eventually goes to defend Castle Grayskull. But basically, whoever holds the power swords holds the power of the castle. So you collect both swords, you get the, you know, the heroic side and you get the evil side of the sword, and both together then give you access to the castle. So it's kind of a cool concept, and I've always liked the idea that it belongs to all the masters of the universe and not just the heroic ones. It kind of opens up the storyline a lot more. Kind of makes it a little more fun. Oh, there's the green Tila. There she is. For those who haven't got the figure yet, she's a pretty cool figure. And let's see, then we got He-Man. Oh, it's the same one. It's just a different version of it. Because we had more than one version. We had a short version and a long version. Then we got King of Castle Grayskull. This is a fun one too, and it's the same way. This time we see Skeletor talking about the two swords again, and how someday they will be a champion in the chair. And you've seen me make this custom figure before. This is that green He-Man that I've made, and it's just kind of cool. And you can see him collecting the swords. And hey, pretty soon this figure's coming out. That's going to be a fun one to get. And it's just kind of cool how he gets into the castle with the swords, you know, puts them together to fasten the keyway to get in there. So I just kind of love the story of how the castle doesn't belong just to He-Man, but basically He-Man's just defending it, but really it belongs to whoever holds the power swords at that moment. So man, I used to love looking at these comics as a kid. I would look at them all day long and just study the way they, you know, they're all fighting on the roof of Castle Grayskull on the ramparts, and how cool is that? You can see there's the dome of the castle there, and he runs across. These comics are old. They aren't available online anymore. They used to be available online at heman.org, but their site just recently went down, so they aren't available anymore. But you know, you can get that comic book series as one big book by Dark Horse. Let me show you. I happen to have a couple of them. I'll be right back. We'll see if this camera freaks out when I walk in the doorway. See if it tracks me still. Hey, it did. So this comic right here This is the one, and ooh, it's big and massive and huge. You can see it's got a bookmark in it too. Then you can find your exact spot that you want, and it opens it up, and it's all the comics in brilliant color. Yeah, this book is really cool. It's funny, I had one, and then my son bought me one for my birthday, I think, or Christmas or something. It's really cool, and so I have one that's open and one that's not. But the color is just amazing in this book. I mean, I really love how bright and vibrant they have the colors in this book. It's way better than the comics, and it's larger. So for our older eyes, you know, I'm in my 50s, so being able to see this with my eyes is pretty good. Yeah, I guess you could kind of say it kind of is. I kind of hate using that term, but I guess really a Bible just means a collection of books, and this is a collection of comic books, so I guess it really kind of is a Bible. So that's interesting you happen to say it that way. Now, my PDF I have right here, of course, I made this years ago before that book ever existed, and then I ran it through something that would actually take the text so I can search for it. So if I wanted to find something, I can actually search for that text and find what I'm looking for. So that's kind of why I made it, because a lot of times I'll be searching for something and I can just type in the name of a character or name of a place or something else to see what that was in the comics. All right, well, hey, you guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I think I like my new thing. I mean, that's kind of cool, huh? Let me know what you think of my rotating following thing. It's funny, I threw all the blankets on the couch to be out of the way of the shot, not knowing I just put a big giant mountain in the shot. That's kind of funny. Anyway, let me check your guys' comments before I go. Let's see here. So, one person says, you like it? Thanks. Hey, Dean, thanks for joining us. I can't get them in the Play Store. Not sure what you mean by that. Oh, you want that book so bad. Michael, hopefully you can find it. I think if you go to Amazon, I think they might have a digital copy of it, which would be kind of cool to get. You could have it on your pad too and check it out. Oh yeah, that's funny, Chauncey, about your eyes. Yep, having the larger print does help a lot. That is for sure. Oh, you can get them in the Play Store. Nice. Hey, goats and stuff. Thanks for being here. All right, well, I'm going to end this video now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for letting me try out my cool new OBSBOT. I bought one in the past. It didn't work very good. It was called Pivot. Don't buy Pivot. It only works on its own proprietary software. This doesn't use any software at all. It actually is all built into the camera. So don't get the Pivot. Get the OBSBOT. I think the OBSBOT might even be less money than the Pivot was. So anyway, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys next video. Bye now.